Hello, greetings for the day. In this video, I will be giving an overview about what is cloud computing. Welcome. I am Sai Chandra Reddy, an electronic engineer currently pursuing PGDM HR. I am a Microsoft certified in Azure Fundamentals. Coming to this video, I have structured this video into 5 parts. Firstly, we will be discussing about how is the technology and scenario before cloud computing. Then we go with what is cloud computing and its benefits, what are the different types of cloud computing, and who are using this cloud computing technology. So let's go. So before cloud computing, all the websites and applications were deployed in a data centers. Now you may wonder what is a data center. A data center is nothing but it is a dedicated space which is allocated for computing facilities like you may say servers, routers, switches, firewalls. Not only this, it is also equipped with the cooling and disaster prevention systems for our safety. Now let us consider a real world application where we can use this cloud computing. Consider you own an economic e-commerce website. So in this website, you run many products where people or your users or your customers, they frequently check into your website to purchase many orders or samples. So in that case, you will have a daily customers visiting to your website. Say suppose you're having 100 customers visiting your website on a daily basis. Occasionally on a festival time where you have to provide many offers or discounts, at such time you have a huge traffic and many customers try to purchase the products from your website. Say example Great Indian Festival, when we offer this kind of discount or offers, there comes a huge traffic to your website. At that time the server may go down because it may not be able to handle that much of traffic. So this is one of the problem by which the server crashes due to the unable to handling of that much of traffic of customers. So what do we do? This is a typical photo of how a data center looks. So when such traffic is coming to your website, you cannot handle such traffics. So for that purpose, you need to purchase more hardware to handle such traffic. And once you purchase or acquire that hardware, it takes a lot of time for you to adjust and settle in that infrastructure. Thereby, you will be losing your profits. If suppose you have got all the infrastructure and your data centers arranged, after the festival season or after the offer expires or the discount period, the purchases what you have made will be of no use because the traffic will not be the same thing on a regular basis. So whatever the investment you have made on purchasing the new hardware is a dead investment. So for this as a purpose, we introduce a concept called cloud computing. So this is how a traditional data center is divided into two parts. First is what on premises, second is co-location. Now on premise, this setup, the organization sets up and maintains the data center by itself. It also owns all the equipment in this case. In some cases, networking between data center and organization's office is taken care by network service providers. But whereas in co-location, the organization ties up with a third party firm. It ties up with a third party firm to set up and maintain its data centers. Here, the organization provides the required computer services like storage, networking, but whereas the third party, it will provide the setup, the cooling, power, and the physical security. This is how it works. So these are the problems. Like in peak time, you need to face high traffics. Frequent software updates need to be done for the data centers. And the data centers are obviously they are high in cost, so budget is also required, high budget. And physical security, it is vulnerable to threats, virus, malicious attacks. So security patches need to be updated on daily basis. So and also storage memory. The storage memory is limited because you need to buy more storages when it is occupied. So 5 problems, one solution. That is cloud computing. This is how a cloud computing will try to fix all your problems. So you have a server in it, you have a storage space in it, you have a mobile BYOD, bring your own device, in which you can access all the applications from the cloud within your mobile gadgets, or you have different kinds of applications deployed in cloud computing where you can access them throughout the world anywhere accessible. And the database, it has a huge set of database where you can store data in an organized fashion, where you can retrieve data easily in an orderly fashion. And these are the deployment models in the cloud computing, say private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud. As I said, types of cloud deployments, they are namely four. One is private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud, and the other is community cloud. Let's know about them. So this is how a typical private cloud architecture looks like. This is an organization. This is going through the private cloud, and this symbol over here shows the lock and the key. That is, it is secured and it is accessible only with certain persons. So what actually this private cloud tells us is the resources are provisioned only to the authorized users. Not everyone has access to the resources in the private cloud. Here, the user can be an organization with multiple consumers, or the user can own and manage the resources, or a third party can manage the resources, or combination of both is also possible. This can exist on or off premises. Both the cases are possible. Now, let's know about the advantages of private cloud. The private cloud provides high security and it is also accessible only to the authorized users. This kind of infrastructure is generally preferred in financial institutions or where more security is the main priority. It provides high control over the resources because you are only having the access to everything. You have more control to handle things in a better way. Whereas coming to the disadvantages, as features increases, the cost also increases. This is a common concept. Here, as they are having many features and access provisions, security systems, so when compared to the public cloud, private cloud is very costly. And it has limited scalability, and this can be scaled only up to internal resources. Scaling capacity is a drawback. Now, let's know about public clouds. What is public cloud? You can see here customer A, customer B, customer C. So many are accessing from the same cloud. So what this depicts is public cloud platform. It offers services via third party to all the users by allowing them to access the resources over the internet. The cloud provider owns and manages all the physical devices such as servers, storage devices, etc. Everything is handled by the third party service provider. Here, the customers from different organizations or different startups, business scenarios may also take a part in this public cloud because of the cost or its advantages, which are many flexible when compared to the private cloud. Coming to the advantages, as I said, it is highly scalable and it offers flexibility to scale up or scale down depending upon the user needs. It is cost effective because you need not pay that much amount where the features are limited. The user can pay only up to what he uses. Pay as you go pricing system is followed in the cloud computing concept. The disadvantages include it have security issues. In previous case, it was private cloud, we had security. Now it is public cloud. The drawback is there is no security because many people are able to access the same cloud location. So if one may make a mistake and corrupt the files, it will reflect or it will impact the entire cloud. And it is not 100% customizable as per organization's requirement because it is a mixture and cluster of all the users within the same cloud. Next is hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is nothing but a combination of private and public clouds. So in hybrid cloud, for example, it would be a combination of two clouds, as I said. So it also has the infrastructure. It allows the data and the application sharing between the two clouds. In the sense, we can switch from one cloud to another cloud. If we are using private cloud and it is reached to the peak stage, we can switch to the public cloud. Or say if we are using in a protected environment within an organization, we can use private cloud. Of the organization, if we are having any information which can be shared to the public or global, we can switch to public cloud to access that. In such scenario, hybrid clouds are very useful. Let's know about the advantages and disadvantages of hybrid cloud. As I said, hybrid cloud is a combination of private and public. All the advantages of private cloud also applicable to hybrid cloud. All the advantages of public cloud are applicable to hybrid cloud. Private cloud is secure, so hybrid cloud is also secure. Scalability. Public cloud is scalable, so it is involved in hybrid cloud, so hybrid cloud is also scalable. So as I said, the user can access both private and public depending upon the needs. It is cost effective because how much amount of private cloud usage you want, you can use, and how much you can split into public, you can split according to your needs. Here, the disadvantage is the complexity in setting up the things. The network configuration becomes complex when two clouds are involved. And the organization security compliances is also an issue because not every organization is ready to share everything with hybrid cloud because there is a chance of threats or malicious virus because of the involving of public cloud in the hybrid cloud. Now let's go about community cloud. What is community cloud? A community cloud is a cloud where group of similar organizations can share the data. Say it is a group of organizations can access to the resources in the cloud. Here they may share infrastructure resources or networking resources. It can be shared with a group of organizations that belong to the same community or same geographical area. In such cases, community cloud can be deployed and used. Here are some advantages and disadvantages. The cost of maintenance can be shared with the organizations in the community. More the organizations in a similar community, they can share the cost so that it won't be a burden for individual organization. And it is more secure than a public cloud and less expensive than a private cloud. When compared to disadvantages, it is not that easy to distribute all the responsibilities and it is difficult to segregate the data within the organizations. Here I am going to talk about a concept. In traditional architecture, in the data center, you have a system or resources, you will have a hardware, on it you will have an operating system and in which you can use many applications. Whereas over here, you have a hardware and host machine, but instead of operating system, you will have a layer called virtualization layer. On top of this layer, you can create many machines. You can add your custom operating system. Say you can use Linux, Unix, Ubuntu, Windows. You can use any operating system and you can build many virtual machines over this virtual layer. This concept is called as virtualization, and this is possible using cloud computing. This is one of the advantage. Now let's talk about cloud service models. There are three cloud service models, namely infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So when coming to infrastructure as a service, the IaaS, it allows the customers to access the cloud infrastructure resources such as networking features, data storage features, and all the hardware from the cloud service provider. It is an on-demand service. Like the moment we request, we get that required amount of resource. And once the use is done, we can return back to the service provider. The key point is it provides the highest level of flexibility and management control over the resources. Here are some of the advantages of infrastructure as a service. Service provider provides the infrastructure. The user from our end, we just need to install the operating system and we can work on it. User can modify the architecture as per his needs and requirements. As I said, the key point to highlight in this is the user has full control over the computing resources. The best example of infrastructure as a service, we can say that like colleges provide laptops for the students for education purpose. That is, they are providing infrastructure to the students. Laptop is an infrastructure. Now the student can install his own operating system. He can use any of the operating system according his requirement and needs. He can use it as his own laptop. He has a full control over it. That is an example of infrastructure as a service. Next, coming to platform as a service. Platform as a service provides environment for the developers. Like developers can deploy codes and they can run the code and they can testing. They can use it for a testing purpose instead of wasting time and focusing on the hardware infrastructure and cloud storage allotment, the patching activity, software maintenance, cleaning, maintenance, allotment. Everything is taken by the service provider. You just need to focus on the code deployment, development, how to build the code and how to compile and how to remove, debug it. That is the purpose of platform as a service. As I said, let's know about the advantages and disadvantages. So the advantages include it is a simple model, like we can deploy applications. It is low cost because everything is managed by the service provider. We just need to create and run the codes. Disadvantages is a migration issue because from one platform to we are moving to another platform, there needs to be the data needs to be migrated successfully without any errors. One more constraint is a platform restriction. So some features are supported by one platform may not be compatible with the other platform. This is one of the drawback. This is a platform as a service model. Service provider manages things in pink color. So user manage can be in. So this is an overall view about all the services, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, and what are the user can manage indicated by hash color and indicated by pink color shows the service provider manager will take care of the things. As you can see in infrastructure as a service, there is a more flexibility for the user so that he has command over all these applications or data runtime middleware OS. All are user flexible and they can be installed as per the user requirement and needs. Whereas the rest of all the things are like virtualization servers, storage networking are taken care by the service provider in case of infrastructure as a service. Whereas a platform as a service, application and data, these are the only two items only which user can take care or manage. Rest everything is taken by the service provider. Whereas in case of software as a service, everything is under the control of the service provider manager. It will take care of everything. The user, what he has to do is his role is to use the software which is provided by the service provider. As simple as that. Now let me add a few points where the cloud, when it is implemented, by whom it has been using, but since when it has been implemented. In 2006, Amazon launched its Amazon Web Services. In 2008, Google has released its beta version of Google Cloud. In 2010, NASA, along with Rackspace, has introduced OpenStack open source cloud framework. These are the initiative dates. And one more real life application where we regularly go through is the Netflix or say Amazon Prime videos or many OTT platforms are there where we watch many movies, web series, stories, serials, dramas, short films. Don't you think everything requires a lot of memory? So by the time we search a movie name, we are getting it a movie in Netflix. We are searching a web series name, we are getting it. So all these are stored somewhere. It is not possible for a physical device to store all these things. It is unlimited data. Day by day, movies keep on releasing. Day by day, the storage needs to be increasing. So it is practically impossible to have a physical storage locations. So what all these OTT platforms does is they implement cloud computing where all the things are stored in the cloud. When it is required, it will pop out the result for you. That is how it is utilizing. This is all about cloud computing. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you.